That we have it. I think that when I look at what has happened since we've done the contract, the reps, what Dak has evolved, and what we're doing in here to look for players that complement what he does the best. Dak's who, in my mind, who we're complimenting when we look at what we're doing, whether we're blocking them out or whether we're basically trying to get him some field position. So, yes, we're glad we got him. And Deshaun's contract was a big one. It just reinforces, it just takes one or two teams to really covet a player, and they really get those.
All right, Shannon, let's get you in here first. Do you agree with Jerry?
No. Let's give all Jerry. The only reason Dak's deal isn't more money is given because Dak got the deal done earlier. Jerry, you could have saved yourself $40 million had you done the deal 2 years earlier. Had you not let it get here. Did you forget that? That you had an opportunity to do the deal before Golf and Walkie Tour got their deal, that could have been pennies on the dollar. But what did you do? You let them sign their deal, went 2 years, and you expected Dak to sign the same deal when he had no years left on his deal. Dak said, I wish I might. So, Darren, you don't get any credit for that. Nope. The only thing that helped you is that Dak came in the league earlier, and he was able to get to this contract because the best thing that you did was go ahead and sign him before all these big contracts come along. But guess what's going to happen, Skip, if you re-up that? It's going to be a very similar situation to this. And Jerry knows that. Jerry wants to give, you see what I did, it was negotiated. That wasn't where the quarterback market was. But guess what would have happened, Jerry, had you not did this deal? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you franchised it. That was going to be 40+ million. And then what? Now, that's the Deshaun Watson deal. You're going to have to guarantee, probably, because Deshaun had 4 years on his deal, Skip, and got this deal. Dak had no years left. So what Jerry going to have to pay? When Dak knows I got you in a position you can't do anything but scream. It would have probably been 275, and you talk about Dak Prescott got $75 million the first year. He probably gonna get 125 the first year. So Jerry, you don't get no kudos. Talk about you negotiating a strong thing. Stop it, Jerry. Give me 1 point time, Jerry. People, and I think Cowboy Nation like, yeah, you see how Jerry negotiated a Dak deal? You're talking about a guy that nobody thought Dak was a top 10 quarterback, and the man got $40 million when you could have had it for 30. So you cost yourself $40 million by trying to lowball the guy in the beginning and end up paying him more than what Skip Bayless said he should have got anyway. So, Jerry, you're wrong. No, I didn't answer Jim's question. Absolutely not. I do not agree with Jerry.
Okay. I'm going to repeat what I've said several times. I did not condemn the Cleveland Browns for giving Deshaun Watson $230 guaranteed million. They didn't need to give him that much because they were bidding against themselves. But I won't condemn it because if he goes and wins a Super Bowl for them, it will be worth twice as much. It'll be worth $460 guaranteed million because money can't buy how much a Super Bowl would mean to Browns Nation in Cleveland, Ohio. It's still a football town at heart.
Of course.
It's why I thought Johnny Manziel, if he became what I thought he could, I said, if there's no alcohol, no drugs, he's got a shot. He can become bigger than LeBron if Cleveland goes and wins a Super Bowl with Johnny Manziel. It's a football town at heart. Seed, dog, pound. Again, LeBron put the basketball team on the map. It became a claim to fame for Cleveland. I get that. But it's a hardcore baseball town, but it's even a harder core football town.
I mean, you had Jim Brown, you had Otto Graham, you had
it's bedrock, man. It's from the depth of your sports loving heart. In the end, you love your Browns. You live and die with your Browns. The Cavs kind of come and go, and for that matter, the Indians kind of come and go, but not the Browns. So in the end, if Deshaun wins big for them, God bless them. In the end, I do not think Dak Prescott's going to win big for my Cowboys because, number one, Jerry knows he overpaid because he admitted at the opening press conference when they signed Dak, you got me. I told you.
Skip, if he said he overpaid, how is he crowing now about a great deal that he negotiated?
Thank you.
You just said 1 year earlier you overpaid for it.
He admitted it publicly.
Can't have it both ways, guys.
You took me to the cleaners, then you took me to the bank.
Yes.
And he did. I've never seen anything quite like it. I told you, Dak, over those games that he started, remember, it started in 2019 when he bet on himself. They went to contractual war.
Yes.
Dak just fell apart down the stretch. It started with your most infamous game in Cowboy history, your most famous game at Jets.
At the Jets.
That fell apart. They lost 24-22. And then they started going on the road and just falling apart at Tom Brady and at Chicago and at Philadelphia. And God, I can't even relive it. It was one long nightmare.
Yes.
And then we started 2020, and Dak had a bunch of empty calorie yards.
Oh, here
and
we go.
They should have been 0-4 before he got hurt.
Right.
And they managed to pull off a 40-39 watermelon kick comeback on Atlanta that had the worst pass defense in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, I couldn't justify any of it. And then, knocking on wood for him, he went down and he went out. So he had a career-threatening ankle surgery that required a second ankle surgery.
Right.
And yet and still, Jerry folded, Jerry crumbled. I kept saying, Jerry, just cut bait. Go draft somebody.
Yeah.
Go get Tom Brady. You kept saying, Brady, there's no way Brady would submit to playing under Jerry Jones in Dallas. And you're probably right about that. But I said, it's not going to work because you're going to have to so overpay him. You're going to be so strapped against the cap that you won't ever be able to surround him with enough talent to lift him up to the height that it would take to get to a Super Bowl. I told you I'm down on Dak. I'm not out, but I'm down because I told you for a while I was hoping he would play like the 4th overall pick.
Right.
He has proven to be closer to a 4th round draft pick, which is what he was.
Right.
Even you agree with me on this. He's I'll give you, he's above average.
Right.
He's an above average quarterback who often in bigger games plays below average.
Right.
See last year when I least expected it. Your Broncos came to town,
Yes.
and they were pretty good because they were very good on defense. But we were rolling, baby.
Right.
And they rolled right over Dak Prescott. He was down 30-0 early in the 4th quarter. And then Dak goes up to Mahomes and has the ball 12 times and manages 3 field goals and throws an end-of-half interception that it was just a killer. You just can't play that way. You know it, and I know it. You can't lose to the Raiders on Thanksgiving when you won the coin flip in overtime and got the ball first. You can't lose that game because everybody goes and scores, right?
Right.
No, except you. You go backwards.
So you talk about the Thanksgiving Day game against the Raiders.
It was just ridiculous, okay? You can't come out flat against San Francisco in a big playoff game at home because you just weren't very good.
Right.
You weren't as good as Jimmy Gag.
Right.
He was very good. He was not Jimmy Gag in that game.
But Skip, to your
I
point,
can't take it anymore. Okay, so what happened with Aaron Rodgers? Because as he goes through on that, the team still ended up being 12-5. 12-5. True. We ended up being flat in that game against San Francisco. And he only had 1 touchdown pass. And we lost in the playoffs. That's still better than what Aaron Rodgers did the following week as the number 1 seed against that same team. So, okay. But the bottom line here, let me see if I get this straight. So Skip Bayless's suggestion is because Dak Prescott got $140 million guaranteed and his contract averages out to $40 million, even though that the cap number was only 17 last year and 19 this year, that they can't win because they're paying too much for him. But Deshaun Watson, who has a $235 million fully guaranteed deal, which next year is like a $50 million cap hit. That one's okay. They can win with paying that much more money. Do I have that straight? Let's face it here, guys. Skip Bayless, the biggest fake Cowboy fan there is out there, is truly a Dak Prescott hater. There's no other way you can put it. The way that he's cherry-picked everything, I can cherry-pick and go through with Aaron Rodgers, who, mind you, had the exact same amount of touchdown passes as Dak Prescott last year. Mind you, if you look at the statistics, Pat Mahomes Same statistics as Dak Prescott. They say, of course, he played just kind of, average, below average, whatever. Man, get out of here with that crap. Anyway, it's Thirsty Thursday. I hope you all are having a great day. And I'm just rolling on down the road. And I will catch you guys sometime later. Peace.